Hey, it's Glenn, and I'm still alive. I am still not in a place with solid ground beneath my feet, and I guess that's what I'm going to mostly be talking about in this vlog episode. Just bring y'all up to speed in my messy hotel room, and what I'm doing here. I mean, it's not so messy, it's just the bed is messed up. So, after that last vlog, which took place about 3 weeks ago or so, approximately, I think it was November 15th, and it is now December 7th, so it's been a while. It's been a journey. Geez, I don't even know where to start. There's so much I feel like is relevant to whatever comes next that I want to get said, but it's almost unimportant that my phone died abruptly a week ago, or 8 days ago. My phone just died. It was fine, and then it wasn't, and it never came on again. No warning, just gone. And I went through this whole ordeal because my sister, I didn't have money for a new phone. I didn't know what to do. I was just so because I was house sitting for my friends for several days, and that was really nice. It gave me an opportunity to just kind of assess and be, and it was peaceful. But that last day, and I'd set up my computer there to try to get some work done, but it was all during the week, and I had to go to work, and then the weekend, I think I never had a full day to myself there, but it was still nice. I didn't really get much done work-wise, but it was nice. And then the day I was gonna just get work done all day, that's when my phone died, and I had this frantic quest to get a new phone, and that went horribly wrong. So, I have a new phone. I just ordered a protective case for it. Hopefully I won't drop it from incredible heights at my day job before it arrives. But yeah, it's okay. And this is relevant. I was gonna say this story is not really relevant to where I'm going, but it is. Because one of the things I have decided is a boundary for me is there's something that I have started referring to as the Glenn was right two-step that I am not doing anymore. And phone case, I am determined, will be the last example of the Glenn was right two-step. Phone case, my new phone. So I bought the phone, went back to the house I was sitting. They were getting back that day. It was my friend Nick and Sarah Aston and their baby Ryan. So I was trying to activate the phone, and they told me, at the Verizon place, they said, "Oh, all your stuff will be saved as long as you sign in using the same Gmail account." And I'm like, well, can you look up which Gmail account I was using? And the dude there was very young and didn't understand why I would possibly have more than one Gmail account. And I'm like, well, back in the day they made you get a new one for everything you bought. It was stupid. So I went home, or not home, I went back to the Astons, and I got on my computer, I figured out which email I received Verizon email from. And I'm like, okay, cool, I know which one it is. So then I'm activating the phone, I type that Gmail in, and it sends a code to a completely different email address, not even a Gmail address. It's my old Clark Inc. email that is dead and defunct. It was tied to my website, and they just stopped giving a damn about anything, which is why I've had this ongoing saga of sometimes my website works, sometimes my author website does not work, and I'm trying to slowly rebuild from scratch a new website, and it's, anyway. That email doesn't work, where they sent the code to prove I was me for the new phone. So, my sister was saying she looked something up, and there is a Gmail tied to the Clark Inc. And I'm like, oh, that's because that dead email was tied to my YouTube, and I was scared, and I set up an alternate email address just in case. So I figured out the password to get, no, but it turns out that, no. Dude, it's so convoluted, I don't even remember the order of events. Somehow or another, there's a completely different email that could be the one. Oh, because it starred out the email that it was sending it to. That's what it was. And the Gmail in particular that it was trying to contact. And it turns out it was my old work email from when I was a youth minister 13 years ago. No, 12 years ago. And I hadn't accessed that email in 12 years. So I looked into my password Excel file. It wasn't even listed in there. So I finally guessed the correct password. And I almost got in, but then they wanted to send me a code to prove that I was who I said I was, and they sent it to my phone, which doesn't work. And my phone was sending things to an email that doesn't work. My email was sending things to the phone that doesn't work. And I screamed. And eventually I went back up to Verizon and was like, make this work. He was saying, and that's where we get to the Clark Inc. email, because that's what was at the top of the account for some reason. And I'm like, well, that email doesn't work. That's not the one. I figured out which email is tied to my account. And it isn't the one it's not the one, so it's not the one that's tied to my YouTube, which is the one that's tied to the old Clark Inc. one as a backup. And I was trying to tell them it's this old church email that I needed to be signed in through so that I don't lose all of my photos, all of my notes, all of my contacts, and the guy was arguing with me, saying, no, the one that's at the top is usually the one that your account is tied to. And I'm like, but it's not. This would be one of those unusually occasions that you implied exist by your usually. This is how it works. And he didn't believe me, and so he got it to work using the email that was up top, the one that's tied to my YouTube, and I lost all of my photos and all of my notes and not all of my contacts, because I guess some of them were tied to an older thing from a different phone, but most of my contacts, all of my current day job contacts, gone. So I was devastated. I was heartbroken yet again. I keep getting heartbroken by things, by losing things. But whatever, and I was just like, and there you go. There's the Glenn was right two-step yet again, and I'd already sworn it off. Because I'm here, I'm in this whole working homeless situation, like, lost my house, like, all these things, like my mother getting sick and getting trapped, unable to move forward while I was being a caretaker, like all the things that happened, I told people, I'm like, look, here's where we are, here's where we're going. If we don't turn this way, we're going to go off, I am going to go off a cliff. So here's what needs to happen to prevent that. And everyone's like, no, you're dumb, you're thinking outside the box, get back in the box. And of course, in every occasion, I was right. And it's not just stuff like that, it's like stuff in like friend group soap opera bullshit where I'm like, no, this is what's going on in this person's head. This, you're misreading this entire situation. And you know, they're always like, no, you don't know anything about anything. And then they always come back. Oh, Glenn, you were right all along. You were right. And I'm like, yeah, too late now. I've drove off the cliff. Because I let people talk me into going down the normal path, like the socially acceptable, expected path of things, though I knew it was wrong, but they convinced me I'm not letting that happen anymore. That is the Glenn was right two-step. Where they always come back and tell me I was right, and I'm like, yes, I know. No good does that do me now. We can't undo, reverse, we can't travel back in time, and it's... So at this point, like, I'm very cagey about my plans because I know they will be argued with. Like, I wasn't really telling anyone any of the details of what I was doing in my author office and, you know, what I was working on and what, you know, where I was with all of that, but everything looked promising, everything was going my way, and I know what I'm doing. So I'm not even giving people the opportunity to argue with me because at this point, I will not survive the Glenn was right two-step again. That is how bad things are. Like, I know where I am, I know where I'm heading, and I know where I need to be heading, or, you know, like, and I also know that people are going to try to think me out of outside the box thinking because they always do. And, you know, even in youth ministry, all the time, I would ignore the people who were arguing with me. And, you know, sometimes they'd win and they'd prove me right. Like, things would not work out their dumb way, like... But when I just bulldozed my way through, it always worked out. The way that I saw it working out. So, where I'm at now, and okay, so this is really the meat of this vlog, I think. This is what I felt like I needed to get out because I think it's very relevant for where I'm going and where the vlog will be following me. So like, and it's weird. Like, there's a lot of weird stuff. So I am at a point where I realize that if things do not change, I am very unlikely to survive the winter, literally. And if I do survive the winter, the summer heat of Texas will kill me. my office barely kept me alive this past summer, and I was still scared I was gonna have a heat stroke because I couldn't get cool anywhere. And now, like, I don't really have a safe place to go during the day or on weekends. I'm in a hotel now, and we'll get to that, but that's not something I can afford on a regular basis. So I've been wrestling with being at the precipice of death, basically, and that's where weird things start happening. And like, I have talked in videos before about death, like when people die, there's always little bits of magic, there are weird happenings surrounding the occasion of the death of someone you're close to. And it's also true that the dying often experience those little bits of magic, like they'll receive visitations, they'll report, and people who work in hospices talk about this all the time, like when they start seeing their relatives, or everyone here will see a little girl with balloons. There's something weird, like when you're straddling life and death, you've got a foot in both worlds. And like, previously passed on relatives are reported to come to these people and, just hang out and kind of get them ready for the trip. So, what's been happening to me for the past month or so, a little over, maybe the past couple of months, I've been having those kinds of experiences, and I like, then it's really been kind of I don't know, like unsettling, but at the same time my headspace with everything, just how tired I am of fighting. Like, part of me is like, good, can we go now? Like, I mean, like, doesn't really care. It's like, I'm not really afraid of death. I'm kind of like, finally, is what my final words will be at this point. Just finally. But no, so here's like what happened is, okay, so little bits of magic, right? Like there's been other times when I've been dead. Like, I've been dead. Like, just, I am a hair's width from death. And little bits of magic happen. Like, I think I told the story on here. If not, I'm sure I will someday, about how I almost drowned, saving my cousin Ryan from drowning. I fell in. I grabbed his hand and fell in. He was getting sucked down the river to a waterfall. And, little bits of magic happened. That's how we got out. Like, I just said, please God help me save Ryan, because I was trying to grab the rocks and like it was slimy and my fingers kept slipping and I couldn't get a grip, and I wasn't even gripping it. It's like my fingertips were barely touching a rock, and it was enough. I was being held in place. I can't explain it. Like, you have to have been there. You have to have been me. So it's not like something I'm asking you to believe. I'm sharing it because it's my experience. Because I'm not claiming to be able to prove this. I can't. But my hand just stuck my fingertips, and I pulled us out, and we were safe. But we were dead. Like, there was no normal way to get out of that situation, that death trap we were in. And there was recently, like within the past year and a half or so, And I'm pretty sure I talked about this on the vlog somewhere in some episode, I don't know, like closer to when it happened, where I was up on a ladder really high and I was getting something down, like a tub or something fell. And like I was trying to hold myself up and push the tub, like I just have one hand and it's too heavy and it's like coming down, and I'm like, if this tub comes down, there is nothing preventing me from just going backwards over the ladder to my death. And like I was pushing with everything I had, and my legs were in such a position that my muscles were really strained. And it was a crazy experience because, and I have since touched base with 2 other people who work in the warehouse who had this exact same experience, because I felt it. I was dead. Like I felt the last of my strength go away. I burned through the last iota of my strength. And I went down, and then suddenly I was up. Like I was suddenly I pushed the tub up with one hand. I'm standing up, my legs that had ceased to work, I'm just standing up and feeling nothing. Like, bam, I was dead. I was dead. But little bits of magic were there. I guess it wasn't my time. And I just stood up, put things where they go, and I was like, what the hell just happened? It was a crazy experience, and so I can relate those to what's been going on. Because a few things like, like there are pets in the house, but they all go to bed. Like the cats are put outside. The dog goes into Nick's room when I stay on his couch, and that's where these things have been happening, where I'm alone in the living room, and then I feel like one of them I felt like a cat jump up on the couch and just curl up by my legs, and I'm like, the cats are outside. And then I was kind of like, all right, oh, hello. Hello, Darth Small, my sister's cat, who passed away years ago. And I'm like, all right. So, and I always look behind me to see if there's a body, like when something like that happens, I just want to make sure it hasn't already happened. And it wasn't scary, it wasn't scary. It was just like, greetings from the other side, and I'm like, all right. And then, another night, dogs were in Nick's room. There are 2 dogs. One is always in Nick's room or on the back because he'll kill cats. She'll kill cats if she's not. But, everyone was in bed or outside. And a dog comes up to the side of the couch where I'm sleeping, nuzzles my hand, sits down on the blanket that's leaning. I feel the pressure, and so I wake up, and I wasn't asleep yet, but it's Lacey. It's my friend's dog before Ember, who passed away a couple years back. And I was very close with her. And I talked to her. I'm just like, hi, Lacey. What's up? Or, but it's just kind of when those moments have passed, I'm like, okay, are they coming to get me? Are they getting me ready for the journey? Is this the end? And like after losing the author office, it's even more on my mind that, all right, this is the end. I'm being prepared for this being the end. I'm dead. It's just a matter of time. But there's no turning this ship around. The spirits are coming for me. And so then when was it? It was Sunday night 1 week ago. Or actually, well, technically, so it was Saturday night after the phone incident. And that was like the moment they burnt me out. That was kind of like my up on the ladder and feeling the last of my strength go out from under me moment. Like, I couldn't even think straight. At first when I lost my phone, and I'm like, I don't even have a way to contact anybody. I have zero sense of direction. I can't afford to replace my phone. I am over. But with my sister's help, I got through it. But I was deeply disturbed when I went to sleep on Nick's couch that night, because that's the night the Astons got home. That was Saturday. And I was very troubled, to state the understatement of my entire life. I was very troubled when I went to sleep on the couch. But I did go to sleep. I had dreams. Sunday morning, when I woke, like right before I woke up, I don't even remember what I was dreaming about. I just remember that after I woke up, I recognized the last thing I saw in the dream as not being in any way connected to that dream I was having. It was a completely separate thing. And I need to bring you up to speed here because, after losing the office, one of the ideas I had, because there's a power outlet by the door in my giant public storage space. And I was thinking, okay, my monthly expenses would actually go down if I don't have to pay for the office, even with public storage going up. If I could turn this into an office space, like carve out a place to set up my computer and keep doing my work, keep doing my writing and publishing and video stuff and podcast stuff, then I could keep the momentum going that I've been building, doing things my way, the way I know things will work. So unfortunately, it turns out those power outlets don't work. Like, they're all painted over and crap. They're just hanging out of the wall. So that dashed that idea, and I was trying to figure out how to afford a power station that I could charge and maybe use for a couple hours every day before it died. It was looking too expensive, so yeah, I went to sleep hopeless. But this dream, so, because this is relevant too. Like, I was thinking, am I stupid for continuing to follow my dreams? Am I stupid for continuing to even try to succeed? Because every time I start making progress, the floor caves in beneath my feet. And I'm starting from scratch again, and it's like, at this point, like, the past year may as well have not happened unless I can keep the momentum going of what I've been working on all year. And so, I was feeling like I'm in a worse shape than I was a year ago. And I was trying to get out of this situation in a year. But like, okay, so back to the dream. So whatever I was dreaming about, that went away. And suddenly I was in my public storage unit, the giant ass public storage unit with all of everybody's stuff in it, you know? And it was dark in the storage unit, but at the far end, behind a ton of junk, like in the opposite, like the back left corner, if you come in to the door, there was a light coming from the ceiling in this dream, and it was just illuminating that back left corner. And then I woke up with that image burned in my mind, and I'm like, all right, that is completely blocked off to me, that corner. Like, the wall of boxes had collapsed. There's all this furniture. There's no way for me to just walk over to that corner. But I'm like, I am going to get to that corner today. Because what was that? Like, what was that dream? Like, it had nothing to do with the dream I was having. It was just suddenly there's this scene, and then suddenly I'm awake. It's like there's this image, and then I wake up. So I spent my whole day tunneling back there, basically, like moving things. Oh, I was beat up by the end of the day from crap falling on me, like getting trapped and having to get out of being stuck in stuff, like, and not really caring. I was just like, you know what, if I got trapped in here, I'd just go to sleep until I was dead. I don't even care. So it's kind of like I don't know, like I must care. I care enough about things to at least follow this dream to that back corner. And when I finally got back there, and there's all these comic book boxes in that corner, and so I pulled them back, and what's behind them? Power outlets. Like, in the wall power outlets that, you know, it's like, it's a place for power outlets, I should say, like the blank ones, but I can see that that's where you can put power outlets, and I'm like, okay, there is no way that was a coincidence. And then I'm like thinking about the significance of what just happened. And it's like I followed my dream to this discovery. Is that some higher power or some friendly, protective spirit telling me to follow my dreams? Is that, if nothing else, an encouragement not to give up on my dreams? Because following my dream, literally following my dream just led me to this possibility. And you know, in the days following, I was getting back in that corner and taking pictures and trying to see, okay, what do I need to do to get this functional, if it can be made functional. And I'm finding all this stuff that is important to me, all these things back there that I hadn't seen in a year, and kind of like stuff that reminds me who I am, and like it brought me peace, it brought me joy to find those things. Like, even if the power outlets don't work, you know, finding the other things that were in that corner sort of rejuvenated me. Like it was empowering. Like brought me back to myself and made me feel hopeful. And so I determined myself to keep following my dreams and to go full speed ahead and not let anything or anyone get in my way. No more Glenn was right two-step. Everyone can get right the hell out of my way. Like, you can call me crazy, you can say I'm stupid, you can say my priorities are fucked, you can do, say whatever, think whatever, I don't care. Because I feel like it has been made very clear to me that I have a 50-50 shot. Like, the spirits are ready to take me. Or I can follow my dreams with utmost determination. And I'm not done here yet. So, powerful message delivered via a series of little bits of magic when I have a foot on either side of the veil, pretty much, like, because I was dead, I had failed, but I don't have to accept that death or that failure. I followed the literal dream and it got me somewhere. Along with the message, follow your dreams. So, don't give up on your dreams. So that's why I'm here. Because, I realized, because the public storage gave me a late fee last month that they agreed to waive, but only in the form of a equal discount on this month's rent, which gave me a little extra money. It's like I'm not paying my office rent, and I got paid on Friday, so I had enough to get a hotel room for 4 nights, and I spent the entire 4 nights working and picking up where I left off and going forward so hard and so fast. Things are good, and I'm gonna do it again as soon as I can afford a couple, because I realized I learned what I can do in a day if that's all I do. If all I do is work on furthering projects and getting things moving, then I can get it. Oh, and it's now midnight, so let's see another little vlog date pop up. So yeah, and it was good. Like, tomorrow I check out in the morning. I've got to either keep my computer in the car all day at work or drive to public storage first thing in the morning and all the way back, because I'm close to where I work. But the next time I have another book that, I had 8 books that are pretty much ready to go, and so I'm prioritizing based on the release dates I was working towards, and and the video editing. Like, I don't know when this one's gonna go up. I said that in the last vlog, that everything's kind of uncertain schedule-wise, but we'll get there, and we will, because I'll take a weekend. I think I have vacation at the end of this month for 16 days, well into, the first several days of January. So I'm going to save as much money as I can. I'm going to do another 4-day stretch somewhere in there, maybe another weekend at the end. One of those I'll be working on video and podcast stuff and getting that up and going. But most of it, it's like I'm getting my author stuff, getting on top of that. And guess what, folks? As of right now, my next novel, The Thing in the Attic, and Anderson Brothers Paranormal Investigation, is up for pre-order at Amazon. The hardback and the ebook come out on March 3rd, 2026. Finally, the much delayed publication of that novel is set. So you can pre-order the ebook right now. You can't pre-order the hardback, but that page will appear promptly at midnight on March 3rd. So they'll be available at the same time. But if you pre-order the ebook, it'll just be in your Kindle app or your physical Kindle, whatever you read ebooks on. It will just be there waiting for you. And you'll love this book. I hope you love this book. Like, it's so funny. It's so funny. And it has so much heart. And it's genuinely creepy. Like, it's got everything. I love this book. And that's been kind of my thinking, is that this book is my most marketable of everything that's ready to go. That it's the beginning of a new series. It's super relatable. Like, the characters are so addictively fun. I just, so spending money that people would tell me I shouldn't be spending paid off. And here we are. I'm following my dreams. And I'm going to get out of this mess. The spirits who've been coming to visit me need not take me away just yet. I'm hanging out here a while. I've still got things to do. But it's good to know, with those little bits of magic, that, when you hit the wall, like whenever the last of my strength, the last of my hope leaves me, somebody's looking out for me. Like, somebody wants me to know it's not over unless I just want it to be. But yeah, no, like, I think I made my choice when I didn't dismiss that weird scene at the end of my dream cycle Sunday morning and went straight to find out what was in that corner. I think I made my choice right then and there to follow my dreams. So, I know that sounds crazy. If nothing like that's ever happened to you. So again, I'm not trying to prove this to you. I'm just telling you my experience, and that I am getting things done. And that novel coming out in March is a really big deal to me. And there will be more books coming out next year as well. So the next time I do this, I know how to get it done. I know how to just do nothing else but just be determined. So look for more announcements in the future. Meanwhile, if you want to check out the rest of my writing, look at the page I have up for The Thing in the Attic. You can go to the release schedule. There's a link to pre-order the Kindle ebook on the book page. You can see the jacket copy, the synopsis that goes on the back of the book. Yeah, you can check it out. Pre-order it if you're an ebook reader. If you want the physical copy, that'll be out on March 3rd. So, yeah, go to my website, glennslade-clark-jr.com, and give me a like, subscribe, some kind of interaction to feed the almighty algorithm if you are so kind and so inclined. And that's my vlog for now. I don't know when it's gonna come your way and be up on YouTube, but I am still here. I'm still vlogging. Thank you for your patience as I pull my crazy life together. And I will talk to you next time.